Welcome to The Explainer. What if one of the oldest prophecies in Scripture actually holds the key to understanding the end of the world? Today, we are diving into the final dramatic chapter of the allegory of the olive tree from the prophet Zenos. We're going to break down the last few verses that paint this incredibly vivid picture of the world's ultimate harvest.
So Zenos gives us this powerful metaphor of a master tending his olive vineyard, and it's basically a prophetic blueprint for the very last days. It's a story all about labor, purification, and, in the end, an ultimate reward. So let's get right into it. What exactly does this final harvest look like?
Okay, so our story picks up at a really critical moment. After ages and ages of watching his vineyard get corrupted, the Lord decides, that's it, it's time for one last all-out effort. And it all kicks off with this urgent final call to work.
So here it is, Jacob chapter 5, verse 71. Just listen to the language here. This is the last time that I shall nourish my vineyard, for the end is nigh at hand. I mean, this is not a gentle suggestion, right? It's a command, and it's filled with urgency, a warning, and also this profound promise. The season is ending, and this is the absolute final chance to get in there and join the work.
This final summons is just packed with meaning. You have phrases like, the last time, and the end is nigh. That tells you the stakes could not possibly be higher. This is not just another season in the vineyard. And notice, the servants are few, which makes their job even more crucial. But then look at the reward. It's not just a good harvest, it's joy in the fruit, a deep, shared happiness with the Lord himself.
But here's what makes this final push totally different from anything that's come before it. What's the unique part? Well, this time, the servants are not sent out by themselves.
And verse 72 reveals the absolute game changer. And the Lord of the vineyard labored also with them. This is huge. We're talking about a divine partnership. For the first time, the master isn't just standing back and giving orders. He's right there in the trenches, working alongside his servants. And that direct personal involvement changes everything. The result is almost immediate. The natural fruit, that good, righteous fruit, starts to grow again.
Now, this purification isn't chaotic at all. It's a very methodical, step-by-step restoration. So first, you have the united labor, which produces that good fruit. Then, as that righteous fruit gets stronger, the bad, wild branches can finally be removed. And the ultimate goal here is to restore balance, so that the root, which represents the divine covenants, and the top, the people, are finally equal in strength. It's about creating a perfect harmony between God's laws and his people's actions.
And this right here is the end game, a total, complete purification. All the corruption is cast away until the whole vineyard is unified. It becomes one body, producing fruit that the Lord calls most precious, which brings it right back to its original, perfect state.
So, the final labor is done, the vineyard is pure. What comes next? I mean, what does the Lord do with this perfected harvest he's worked so hard for?
In verses 75 and 76, the Lord declares that the work is finished. He says, "Ye shall have joy with me because of the fruit." And then he says this, "For a long time will I lay up of the fruit." That phrase, "for a long time," is so important. It signals a new, extended era of peace and joy, a time for the Lord to finally enjoy the results of this amazing harvest.
And this long time of peace, well, that's what's widely interpreted as the millennium. You know, the prophesied 1,000-year period when righteousness will finally reign on earth, the vineyard won't be corrupt anymore, and the Lord and his faithful servants will get to share in that joy together.
But wait, the allegory doesn't actually end there with 1,000 years of peace. The text reveals that this long time eventually comes to a close, and that sets the stage for one final, definitive act. Verse 77 gives us this incredible glimpse beyond the millennium. After that long period of peace, evil comes back one last time, and that prompts a final, absolute separation. The Lord states it plainly, "The good will I preserve unto myself, and the bad will I cast away." There's no more pruning, no more nourishing. This is the final judgment, and it all concludes with the entire vineyard being purified by fire.
I mean, the contrast in destinies here is just so stark. You have the good, who are preserved unto the Lord, kept safe with him, and then you have the bad, who are cast away into its own place. And after this ultimate separation, the vineyard itself, which represents the world, undergoes its final transformation by fire.
And this leads us to the ultimate question that the allegory leaves us with.
The sources suggest this final fire isn't really about destruction, but about celestialization, a purification that raises the world to this divine, heavenly state. The final judgment actually becomes the ultimate act of renewal, and it leaves us to wonder about this profound idea. What does it truly mean for the vineyard, for our world, to be made perfect and eternal?